If it looks like I want to be here, I don't. All right. It took a lot of, talking to myself in preparation. And I actually went up to the commissioner and he basically told me this. He said, hey, if you want to retire, that's your business. But you have the contract and you have to, at least stay for the end of the season. So, here I am doing these videos, for y'all, for the JPDL, and we'll see what happens in the future. But I'm not coming in with the same intensity. So here we go. Flexed Thursday night game, because originally this game was Dallas versus Los Angeles, but it had to get flexed. I mean, the football from those two teams right now on offense, it's not worthy of prime time. So we have Las Vegas #2 taking on #8 Philadelphia Frauds, all right? And this game is going to be crucial for Coach McCaskey, but also potentially for Coach Mills, as he wants to continue his streak of undefeatedness. So let's go into it. Coach Mills in overall is 6-2 against Coach McCaskey in their whole span of playing. And they are also 2-0 against Coach McCaskey in the Dynasty era. So this has been somewhat of a thing where Las Vegas has Philly's number. Will they be able to continue? I don't necessarily know, but I do know this is an important game for Coach McCaskey. Why is it important? Well, it's this simple, okay? 4 of 14 teams who have started 1-4 in the first 5 games have made the playoffs. He does not want to be one of those teams that have to now have the odds stacked up even more against him. For a team that was actually destined, what we thought to be a top 3 team in the league, we were talking second round to potentially championships. So to see him, barely holding on to playoffs right now, that's something you got to look out for. And then lastly, Philly has 5 starters on bye week. I mentioned this last video in the prediction video, but this is something huge. 5 players, key players, Eagles and Lions. He's trying to scrounge up the best he can against the best team overall in the game right now, outside of Ethan Bigby. So this is something where Coach McCaskey is going to have to literally build makeshift pieces. Just got Terry McLaurin in a trade this week for a game against a 4-0 opponent. So this will be something that you got to look out for. I personally, I don't even want to pick this game. We'll get to it. Coming into the 1 o'clock game, like I said, we have Dallas versus Los Angeles. And this is a very simple game, okay? For Los Angeles, they need to get their offense going. This is the one thing that has not been working all season, as the offense, okay? We could say Tua. We could point fingers at Tua being injured, affecting all the Miami players, or just Lamar Jackson not getting all the Baltimore Ravens players involved. But at the end of the day, Coach Fitzgerald, he has to get it done. All right, he's been here long enough to know that you got to get your players back up and running, coaching. He's always been a quarterback guru, and we see it right now. But, the playmakers, they're not playmaking. Got Devontae Adams in a trade this week, may turn out to be something. He got Cole Kmet, a tight end who's I would say, more reliable in terms of starting minutes than someone like Isaiah Likely right now. But, that's something that we got to look out for, and he's getting more pieces. And what better way to try to get his offense going than against the number 10 team in the league? As for Dallas, let's not get it twisted. He is the number 10 team, Coach Kwanzaa, but he's only had the lowest score in the league 1 time this year in the first 4 weeks, which means there is potential for another team to score lower than him and for him to pull off the win. Will it happen this week? Who knows? But I'm saying at some point, he's going to get matched up against somebody who just doesn't play offensively, and he squeaks by with the win. And I can't wait to see it, but hopefully not this week against Los Angeles. Let's go into the next game. This will be the 4:25 game. I have everything written down here because, like I said, I'm not going off the dome anymore. I don't care about this league. 4:25, you have the number 7 Boston Baller Brand versus the number 9 New York 67ers. A game that I have Boston taking. And if I didn't say it earlier, I have Los Angeles winning that game at 1 o'clock. But at 4:25, Boston Baller Brand, I have them winning against New York. I just don't think New York has the heart right now. Going into the keys to the game, Boston leads this overall matchup 5-6, but it's only an average of 8 points. So New York, if they want to plan a comeback, they're going to have to go against somewhat of history a little bit. They're going to have to score. They're going to have to beat them. And the worst part about beating Boston Baller Brand is that you're going to have to play up against this ground and pound offense. All right, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. When you look at this run game is scary. This run game has always been scary. It's been one of Boston's main traits, is his ability to run the football. Coach Diaz is going to have to stop that. Coach Diaz is going to have to do that, and he's going a completely different route. For someone who has all running backs in Boston and Coach Ball, Coach Diaz has all wide receivers. This is going to be something where, it's just going to be a battle of running back versus wide receiver. Just like last week with Boston, except they were barely able. They almost squeezed the win out, but they didn't do it, because, at the end of the day, Coach Bigby's on a historic tear. But this is not Coach Bigby. This is Coach Diaz. This is New York. And at the end of the day, New York needs to take advantage of the quarterback matchup. If he has any shot, Josh Allen's going to have to play hero ball. And we're going to need either Daniel Jones or Justin Herbert, whoever he's starting, to step up. Oh, actually, Justin Herbert's on bye, so it's Daniel Jones, to step up and be that guy going up against Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff. I need Josh Allen to have a heroic effort if New York want any chance of coming back and playing solid football this week against Boston Baller Brand. Let's go to the Sunday Night Football game. This is a huge one. These are actually Sunday night, Monday night. These are huge games in terms of the power rankings. Number 3 ranked Vice City Business, coming off of a win against the number 2 ranked team, takes on the number 5 Toronto Mystics. Look, experience is going to play a huge part in this game. I'm not going to lie. Vice City is looking for their 30th win in the JPDL. I think Coach Daigle has around 55 wins to his 30, so this is a battle of experience. Coach Montague has a chance to be 500 for the first time ever in who knows how long in the JPDL in total, with 30 wins, 30 losses. So this is something that I'm looking out for. Hopefully, with this new regime, Vice City changing his brand, wanting to be a more winning team, this is the time to do it. And, let's start here. Let's start by fixing Nipper's record. The Mystics and Vice City Business, they want to put a stamp on this season, okay? And what better way to do that than to go 4-1? Now, both teams, one of them is going to come out 4-1, one of them is going to come out 3-2. But here's the kicker. 4-1 teams out of 17 teams who have started 5 games into the season, 4-1. 15 of them out of 17 have made the playoffs. So basically, if you go 4-1, you practically clinch a playoff spot, which is essential. Actually, it's technically 4-1 or higher, but you know what I'm trying to say. This is a team where, look, Toronto Mystics, nobody had them making the playoffs in the first 5 weeks, like for sure clinching a playoff spot in 5 weeks. Nobody had that. So that's going to be huge for Coach Daigle, and he's going to want to get this going against a hot team in Vice City who are on a 3-game win streak and are looking to, keep it going. Lastly, this is just the game of the week for me. This is the game of the week. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no clue who to root for. I really didn't even put who I have winning this game. But, with me being an OG coach, I'm going to have to go with my fellow OG coach. I think the experience is something crucial here. I think Vice City Business, they were tested last week. But that's really the only game that they've been tested on. The other game they were tested on, they lost. So I'm going to take Toronto Mystics having 2 upsets under his belt. I have him winning this game and actually upsetting Vice City. So that's my pick there. Yeah, Monday Night Football, the final game. We have the number 1 Atlanta Juicers taking on the number 4 Washington Kickball team. A battle of 2 giants. That's a key. Where, if all healthy, everybody playing, these 2 rosters are right next to each other in terms of scariness. When all fully healthy, Washington is scary. When fully healthy, Coach Bigby and the Atlanta Juicers are scary. Washington, however, they've been battle tested, okay? They've been playing up against a lot of tough offensive teams. They're 2-2, but honestly speaking, if we're being legitimate, they could be 4-0 if they just had a couple of different players they were playing up against. They just played up against the number 1 teams of the week almost every week. So they're playing up against tough talent, and I think that's going to actually benefit them. So I have Washington actually winning this game. And the last key is the fact of the bye weeks are now starting to hit a lot of people. 3-time game changer of the match, Saquon Barkley will not be playing for Ethan this week. And neither will Amon-Ra, who has been basically great. The best wide receiver on this team, the most consistent wide receiver on this team by far, and actually won him the game last week against the Boston team who was trying to edge out a win. So I think there's been a lot of close calls for Coach Bigby, and I think for Washington, there's been a lot of tough breaks. And I'm going to go with Washington here. I think they win it. I think that's my upset as well. Just to recap and give you all my full picks, again, I'm not really caring about this, so we're just going to go really quickly. We had the number 2 Las Vegas taking on the number 8 Philadelphia. Give me the number 2 Las Vegas Hurdlers. Number 6 Los Angeles Flames taking on Dallas Lax Bros at 10. We're going to take Los Angeles, clearly. Number 7 Boston Baller Brand versus number 9 New York. This is New York versus Boston, but I'm going to go Boston here. I think New York isn't even fighting anymore. Number 3 Vice City Business taking on the number 5 Toronto Mystics. I'm going to have the number 5 Toronto Mystics due to the experience, due to the winning mentality of the coach and Coach Daigle. And then number 1 Atlanta taking on number 4 Washington. Give me Washington with the way the bye week is looking for Coach Bigby this week. I think those are 2 key players who are going to be out for him. And Washington, they don't really have any key players, and a lot of players are actually coming back and being a little bit more healthier and showing a lot of talent. So we're going to go with Washington there. Those are my picks. JPDL week number 5 is in progress starting right now. I can't wait to see this. I don't even know why I'm saying this. I don't care, bro.